Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am Vinnie Apicella. I want to welcome you to this wrestling edition. It's going to be pure WWE edition of the Sportswire, this highlight edition. I want to thank you for tuning in and thank you for checking out our highlights. As over the past week, we've been uploading like crazy. We've been uploading a lot of our classic public access era shows, and we would love for you to check them out. We thank you for viewing the interview we had with Trinity squash coach Paul Asiante. I think it was a great interview, and I hope you do as well. Anyways, first off, I'd like to note this coming Sunday, the 18th, we will be at Buffalo Wild Wings in North Haven, Connecticut to watch WWE's SummerSlam. Join us. I'll be getting there probably around 7, maybe a quarter after. It's going to be a great time, and I recommend you definitely coming down to join us. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be great. We're going to go over the SummerSlam card here now in just a minute. This week during the SummerSlam Access is a week-long thing, just like WrestleMania Access. Okay, the fact is there's quite a bit going on this week. First off, there is going to be a SummerSlam Access match in which Natalia teams with extra anchor Maria Menounos, who's no stranger to the WWE ring. Okay, she's going to team with her to take on Brie Bella and a partner of her choosing, who happens to be Eva Marie, who's on that new Total Divas uh, reality show on E. So she will be there for a Divas match. It'll be a Divas tag team match, but it's only for the access. It's not on pay per view. So anyway, I'm not even gonna bother going over that match because, well, we're not gonna see it unless they put it on YouTube. But anyways, going over the actual matches here for SummerSlam. In the kickoff match, which I'm very, very, very upset about, it's going to be United States Champion Dean Ambrose defending against Rob Van Dam. It will be an hour-long kickoff, which starts streaming at 7 o'clock on the WWE app, on YouTube, on all Google Plus, Pinterest, whatever else they're on, and their WWE website, of course. You know, it's an hour-long kickoff show, and this is the match that's on it. Dean Ambrose against RVD for the United States Championship. I do not like the fact that they're putting a match of this caliber out for free. This needs to be on the pay-per-view because, there's no reason for it to be on the pre-show. A pre-show is designed for a match that is not pay-per-view caliber. This is pay-per-view caliber. The Divas match of Natalia versus Brie Bella needs to be on the kickoff match. Don't get me wrong. Natalia is probably one of the absolute best divas to come around in a long time. Being trained in the Heart Dungeon, being a second generation diva, I honestly think that she deserves it. But Brie Bella is nothing but eye candy, and she's not a diva wrestler. So I don't think that should be on the pay per view when Dean Ambrose versus RVD is on the kickoff show. That's ridiculous. But anyways, I'm not Vince McMahon. Unfortunately, I don't get to make the calls. So, all right. So that's the kickoff match. U.S. Champion Dean Ambrose defends against Rob Van Dam. In the match, I look for it to be a great match. I don't think they're going to give RVD the title because he's such a limited schedule. And Dean Ambrose is on a roll. The Shield themselves are on a roll. Matter of fact, I don't even think that the other two members of the Shield, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, I don't even think they're defending the tag team titles at SummerSlam. So leaving them off the show, I know they're going to be on the show in some capacity, but leaving them not defending their titles on the show is absolutely ludicrous. That's what the fans want. The fans want the Shield. The Shield are becoming so popular that pretty soon it's going to have the NWO effect where, they're heels. They're supposed to be heels, but they become faces because they're so awesome. And they're just staying to just the three men. They're not watering it down by bringing in other mid-carders. The Shield right now are mid carders, but they're doing main event quality stuff, and they're getting right in there with the main eventers. So I think the Shield's awesome, and I don't like that Rollins and Reigns are not going to be fighting on SummerSlam. All right. So that being said, I look for Ambrose to retain the title against RVD. Yeah, long-winded. Anyways, moving on. Natalya and Brie Bella, they're going to be the Divas match on SummerSlam. Uh, I hope Natalya wins. She's very underutilized as a diva and as a female wrestler. I'm not even going to use the word diva anymore. Uh, as a female wrestler, she deserves to, pretty much have the title and have everything. There's no more good female wrestlers in the WWE, with the exception of a few. Natalya is one of them. And I would probably say Caitlyn is another one. I definitely like Caitlyn. I think she has what it takes to be a great female wrestler. But they're screwing her character. They're screwing with the storylines, with AJ and that garbage. Uh, but I look for Natalya to beat Brie Bella. I also look for Natalya and Maria Menounos to beat Brie Bella and uh, Eva Marie on the SummerSlam Axis. Moving on, Cody Rhodes is going to face his former best friend, Damian Sandow. Seeing as Sandow knocked Cody Rhodes off the top of the ladder at Money in the Bank so that he can get the Money in the Bank briefcase himself. I know they wanted to break up the tag team. I know they wanted this match. They could have done it in another way. The fact is, Money in the Bank is every man for himself. Why break up because your tag team partner shoved you off when it's every man for himself? You would have done the same thing. I don't understand who the heel, who the face is. I mean, the heel is obviously going to end up being Damian Sandow because his intellectual stage, it's the masses character, and Triple H is high on him. So look for him to have a great push with this Money in the Bank. Cody Rhodes is going to turn face, and from what I've heard, I don't know if it's actually going to happen. I've heard grumblings. They might be setting up Cody Rhodes against Goldust for WrestleMania 30. I don't know, but it's there. It's out there. Next, we have a mixed tag team match, which I'm really not crazy about. Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn against Biggie Langston and Divas champion AJ Lee. The Divas title has become so passe or so, underutilized, underdeveloped, whatever you want to call it, that they're not even defending it on the SummerSlam pay-per-view. They're having the Divas champion in a mixed tag match. I hope that Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn end up winning this match. Dolph Ziggler is a great wrestler, great talent, great everything. Mr. Man Cleavage, Big E Langston, he's okay. He hasn't proven himself yet. But I do feel that Caitlyn is a much better female wrestler than AJ. AJ is probably about 95 pounds soaking wet. And I don't see her as legitimately having a reason to have the title. She should just stay as a valet, and that's it. So I'm hoping that Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn end up winning that. Moving on, Cain is going to take on Bray Wyatt in a Ring of Fire match. What that is it's going to be similar to an Inferno match where the ring will be surrounded with fire. But the object of the match is not to have your opponent catch on fire. It's just pinfall or submission, but it's just surrounded in fire so that none of the Wyatt family could interfere. I look for Bray Wyatt to win this, and I'll tell you why. Cain is going to be taking some time off. They sign on to produce See No Evil Part 2, and Cain is obviously the main character, so he'll be taking some time off to film that. So I definitely look for Bray Wyatt to win that match against Cain, put Cain out of action, by kayfabe injury for a while, so that he can go off and film the movie. Moving over to World Heavyweight Champion Alberto Del Rio defends his title against Christian. This match, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I like Christian. I think he deserves the title. I don't think Alberto Del Rio deserves the title. So normally I'd say, let Christian win. Christian deserves the title. But still, it's like this title has become so devalued that, some guys who you don't normally see as world champion quality or material win. For example, I never recognized Eddie Guerrero as a world champion, caliber athlete, and they gave him the world championship. I don't feel that they're treating it the right way, but I hope Christian could beat Alberto Del Rio, and that might be from an assist from Ricardo Rodriguez after Alberto Del Rio beat him to a pulp a couple weeks ago on Raw. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Christian is gonna win. Moving over, CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, the best versus the beast. This past week on Raw, CM Punk ended up facing or trying to face Paul Heyman, but it was a setup, and Brock Lesnar was there, and CM Punk really didn't get a chance to really get his hands too badly on Paul Heyman because not only did Brock Lesnar interfere, he was out there, but he got beat down by Punk, which obviously was a really good selling job by Brock Lesnar to stay down after getting beat by Punk. And Curtis Axel came out and anything. So, quite honestly, I've always said that I don't see a chance in hell of CM Punk beating Brock Lesnar. But I got to say that if it's booked the right way, if the match is booked the right way, then I can honestly see CM Punk defeating Brock Lesnar in a realistic way without having to suspend reality. Normally, I'd say let Brock Lesnar win, but Brock Lesnar is going to be his last match until WrestleMania 30. So at least that's the rumor I've been hearing. So definitely, I would say get CM Punk, allow him to win. Finish off Brock Lesnar, and then feud with Curtis Axel if he has to. But the fact is, Brock Lesnar is going to be out for the next 6 months leading up to WrestleMania. Maybe he'll continue to feud Paul Heyman. Maybe he can just move on, get back in the world title picture. And last but certainly not least, WWE Champion John Cena is defending his title against Daniel Bryan with Triple H as a special guest referee. Now, you'll notice something. The Viper Randy Orton is not booked on SummerSlam. So, here's what is going to happen. First of all, John Cena is taking 4 to 6 months off after SummerSlam to get elbow surgery. So, it's a given that he will not walk out of SummerSlam as the WWE Champion. Therefore, I am 100% Daniel Bryan is going to win a championship from John Cena. However, he will not walk out of the Staples Center as champion because Randy Orton is going to cash in his Money in the Bank and beat Daniel Bryan for the title. And Orton, it's kind of like one of those things. Bryan's going to be one of those transitional champions. They couldn't book Cena versus Orton again, so they're going Cena versus Bryan, have Bryan win, and then Orton cash in. That sets up a Bryan and Orton feud, which would be great. Daniel Bryan, I don't think is a world champion quality athlete right now, but a little bit of time working with Randy Orton, working with the right main event guys, and I think he'll be there. So give him a little time, make him a transitional champion like Triple H was at one point, or Stone Cold Steve Austin was at one point, or Mick Foley was at another point. There are times where it calls for a transitional champion, and that's going to be Daniel Bryan. His name will go down in the history books as a former world champion. And he's had the world championship before. Now WWE champion. So I would definitely like to see. I definitely feel that Randy Orton is going to come and cash in the Money in the Bank on Daniel Bryan. He has a little bit of growing to do, a little bit of maturing. He's come a long way since his Nexus days, since his Ring of Honor days, since his independent days. He's just not there yet, in my opinion. You could always tweet us at Sportswire SWE on Twitter. Give us your feedback, and we'll obviously air it. So that's the card for SummerSlam. Make sure this coming Sunday, August 18th, 2013, join Sportswire at Buffalo Wild Wings in North Haven, Connecticut for SummerSlam. We will be there probably between 7 and 7:15, maybe 7:30ish. We'll be there. I know I'll be there. And who knows who else will be there from Sportswire. There'll be other people, other friends there. Join us there. Also, if you haven't checked out the rest of our highlights, we have a special announcement on one of our highlights this week. It obviously wasn't this one. So check out all of our highlights this week on our website, www.swe-ct.com, and check out all of our highlights from this week. There is a special announcement in one of them. As always, check us out on our YouTube page, which you can link to right over there. And also, you saw us scrolling on the bottom every so often during the during the highlight. Also, follow us on Twitter at SportswireSWE. Check out our YouTube page, www.youtube.com/SportswireSWE. And as always, check out our website, www.swe-ct.com. Okay, this is obviously a bit of a great segment. And like I said, join us this coming Sunday. Check out our highlights for a special announcement. And we will see you next week on the Sportswire.